is pure gold, flowing like a river. Life is pure gold, deeper than the sea. Life is pure gold, and it lasts forever. Life is pure gold, Jah gave it to me. Life is pure gold, flowing like a river. Life is pure gold, deeper than the sea. Life is pure gold, and it lasts forever. Life is pure gold, God gave it to me. What more could we ask for? What more? What more could we ask for? What more? What more could we ask for? What more? Your gold, Yahweh is the key. Life is pure gold, flowing like a river. Life is pure gold, deeper than the sea. Life is pure gold, and it lasts forever. Life is pure gold, Jah gave it to me.
Greetings, 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 and salutations. Welcome to the Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, Spiritual Mind Healing Service. This happens every Tuesday. Please join me in our opening spiritual mind treatment. We come together with a consciousness of the presence of God, the only truth, that which is manifest as all of creation, manifest as each one of us here this evening. We come expecting to hear the word spoken through Steve, for which our hearts yearn, that word which helps us to practice the presence of the living Spirit Almighty. It is good that we have come together in this way. We give thanks for each other. We give thanks for this occasion. And we let it be the blessing that it always was intended to be. This is good. This is very good. And I give thanks that this is so. And so it is. I would like us to just have a moment of stillness, a meditative moment, let's call it that. I will use that phrase this evening. So we make ourselves comfortable, we observe our breath, and we just be still for a few minutes. So this is our spiritual mind healing service. Is it that our minds need healing, or is it that we use our minds to heal? Since there is one mind, and that mind is God, and that mind is my mind, our mind now, then it follows that our mind is already perfect. Following this then to what I think is a logical conclusion, it must mean that it is our thinking, our thoughts that require some work, because our mind is already made up of and by God. Thought-provoking, isn't it? Speaking of provoking in the Jamaican context, phrases like, me make up my mind for, or if I did follow my mind, you say, me woulda, are usually completed by some less than godlike sentiment. But is that really our mind, or some kind of response to provoking? Truth is, our mind, our God mind, stopped us from following through on the idiot thought that we called our mind. It is that mind that we are focusing on, for it is the presence we are to practice acknowledging constantly, consistently. Let us affirm, my God mind is the presence I acknowledge consciously, constantly, consistently. My God mind is the presence I acknowledge consciously, constantly, consistently. There are some phrases that are very popular in our teaching. One such is our topic today, and I would like us to explore practicing the presence together this evening. What exactly does this mean? From the student workbook for our Thursday class, Spiritual Principles and Practices, based on the book, This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes, we read, and I quote, "Practicing the presence is the practice of the principles of oneness, love, and creation, to become aware of and experience the one infinite reality. The practice of the presence is engaging in formal, disciplined methodologies that quiet the mind, body, and open awareness. Beyond these formal methodologies, it is living in alignment with our science of mind principles, making these principles evident in the way we engage in the present moment, thereby being congruent in thought, word, and behavior." Let me repeat that. Making these principles evident in the way we engage in the present moment, thereby being congruent in thought, word, and behavior. End of that quote from the workbook. I suspect that all of us here are meditators. If anyone here is not, I strongly recommend you learn how. We have trained meditation teachers at the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. So feel free to contact the office and make the necessary arrangement. That said, excuse me, this evening we are looking at one particular method and two probable relations in this regard: visioning, and by extension, journaling and visualization. From the workbook, I quote again. "Visioning is the practice of cultivating the field of consciousness and illuminating what wants to emerge into form without preconceived ideas or limitation." Cultivating the field of consciousness and illuminating what wants to emerge into form without preconceived ideas or limitation. Visioning has a specific methodology which can be used individually or in a group. Through visioning, we create a space of deep listening and awareness. Through visioning, we create a space of deep listening and awareness of our greater good. It is a way in which we can catch the higher idea or deeper wisdom for any project or undertaking. As we listen without judgment, this idea moves through us and is revealed. The higher ideas can come in a variety of ways, through words, images, or pictures in the mind's eye, sounds, feelings. We may not always understand what comes up, and we do not judge. We just listen and allow and notice whatever is expressed without controlling or questioning. So right now, as we get into the visioning practice, be sure to have some writing material close at hand, for it is strongly recommended that we make notes, journal, what comes to us through this practice. We allow ourselves to get into the meditation mode, the stillness. It is from here, I ended the quote without controlling and questioning, I'm sorry. So in the stillness, it is from here that we hear the questions and allow the higher ideas to come through. Time constraints may not allow us to spend as much time as we would like with each question. Still, rest assured, you can get the questions on request. And just for your information, this particular style or this practice of visioning, right? And the questions are taken from a book by Reverend Michael Beckwith, book called The Life Visioning Process. We have two of our resident visioning experts here in Reverend John and Sandy. So I don't know if they would like to make any suggestions, recommendations before we go into the questions. Reverend John, Sandy?
Hi, Steve. Greetings and thank you. No, I think you have explained it very, very well indeed. And it just remains for us to practice the presence.
I got you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, perfect, Steve. Just as I say, take it away, right?
Okay, so you will do the rest of the service? I'm not understanding. Okay, not that. Not me. Oh, sorry. I'm still in the Jamaican language mode. My apologies. Okay, so we allow ourselves to get into what I call the meditation mode, the stillness. Bring a particular goal or intention to mind. In our Thursday class, everyone has chosen a divine principle and set their intention to realize same. If you're not in the Thursday class, shame on you. Or even if you are, feel free now to work with your special goal or intention, right? Especially those who come with their prayer requests in mind. Who knows, we might be praying for ourselves later on, right? So work with your particular goal or intention. Have your writing implements ready. Here we go. I turn my thoughts within, dear Lord, for here is where you dwell. In your kingdom nestled in my heart, where everything is well. I turn my thoughts within, dear God, and find pure love and peace. Harmony the watchword here, apparent doubt and discord cease. For here is where I find the truth. There is one, the all in all. The truth that makes me free to be. I heed its every call. Eyes closed. Relax. Breathe. First question. What is the highest idea for my goal or intention? What is the highest idea for my goal or intention? As you get a response, feel free to open your eyes, make a note, then back into the stillness. Breathe Relax. What must I become to allow that idea to be made manifest? What must I become to allow that idea to be made manifest? Third question. What must I release to create this space for that idea? What must I release to create this space for that idea? Question 4. What gift do I bring to this idea? What gift do I bring to this idea? And finally, is there anything else I need to know in this moment? Is there anything else I need to know in this moment? Okay, I hope we managed to complete that exercise. And even if not, that we understand the direction. As I said before, Michael Beckwith is credited with coming up with this kind of visioning. One of his mentees, Reverend Arlene Hilton, adds a dimension that I believe may help with the visualization aspect, which follows the journaling. She asks her meditators to imagine what it would feel like to have these goals or intentions realized. What would it feel like? Again, particularly with our prayer time in mind, stay with that thought for a moment. What would it feel like to have your goals and our intentions fully realized? What would it look like? What would it sound like? That is, how would we appear to others with our goals and intentions fully realized? Different kind of provoking. There is no absence in God. Beyond omnipresent. Spirit is omnipresence. Practicing the presence really is about bringing this truth, this reality to the fore of our thinking, our consciousness, as much and as often as possible. Be present to the practice of the awareness of spirit. Be present to the practice of the awareness of spirit. Present meaning consciously aware, now. Psalm 46, verse 10 reads, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." I guess most of you here know me, and my take on that is like this. When I read especially older editions of the Bible, I don't leave my Scofield, which is falling apart now, I notice the words that are in italics or in brackets in some instances. Scholars advise us that these words are inserted by the particular translator, right? Because he or she thinks that it would help the reader to understand. Funny enough, in this passage, the only word in italics is am. So then, my reading of this passage is, "Be still and know that I, God." Think about that. That I. Jamaican language run things, you know. I tell you, you're a pastor said in a church day before yesterday. Be still and know that I, which is this thing called you, the living spirit almighty made manifest. The Jamaican language with the Rastafarian input as embellishment helps us to make the concept of I so very clear. The I instead of you. You know, I was saying to Sandy, instead of saying to Sandy, you're going temple Tuesday, it would be the I going to the temple on Tuesday. Think about that. I have a brethren, one of the singer that I work with, who just called me not so long ago. And him say, the I get the thing from the accountant. He speaks like that naturally. The I them, instead of uno or all of you. The I them, plural form of I. And the classic, which Reverend John loves so much, I and I. Instead of you and I or you and me, I and I. This language, our language, a language of inclusiveness and oneness. Realization, actualization, demonstration take time only because belief has not caught up to the instantaneous nature of truth. Let me say that again. Realization, actualization, demonstration take time only because belief has not caught up with the instantaneous nature of truth. It is done unto you as you believe. I'll share a passage. Give me a second to reach for my this thing called you book, as far as that whole believe thing is concerned. You are working with an immutable law. This is quoting from Holmes, this thing called you. You are working with an immutable law, an unfailing principle, an ever available power. It is as simple as this. The mind that is in you is the mind of God. It knows nothing about big or little, hard or easy. But what it does for you, it must do through you. Hence, you must believe before it can operate for your benefit. You must believe before it can operate for your benefit. Visioning with practice and the attendant journaling and visualization helps us to consciously allow a spirit to set us straight again. And in regards those particular goals or intentions we have set ourselves, just remember, we are consciously rooted, we must be consciously rooted in spirit and grounded in life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, joy. Say, let us affirm, I am consciously rooted in spirit and grounded in truth. I am consciously rooted in spirit and grounded in truth.
I plant my feet right here in solid ground. You cannot see it, yet spirit is always around. How strange it is that the unseen is the real. You cannot touch it, be still and know exactly how it feels. I plant my feet right here in solid ground. You cannot see it, yet spirit is always around. How strange it is that the unseen is the real. You cannot touch it, be still and know exactly how it feels. How strange it is that the unseen is the rooted in spirit, rooted in spirit, it's all rooted in spirit. You cannot see it in spirit, yet spirit is always around. Rooted in spirit, how strange it is that the unseen is the real. You cannot reach it in spirit, still and know exactly how it feels. How strange it is that the unseen is the real. You cannot touch it, be still and know exactly how it feels.
Namaste. Comments, questions, recommendations?
Wonderful.
Sorry, I didn't hear that, sir.
Wonderful.
Oh, give thanks.
No comments on the YouTube chat just now.
Okay, good. All right.
I echo Reverend John and say wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
awesome.
Mhm. I see that your son has Vision Dawn of a company named I&I. For them to explore the fullness of it. Thank you, Carol. Explore the fullness of the meaning of I&I. You know, it really is a deep contribution that the rest of us.
I will need to ask him. I do know that his partner in the company is a Rastafarian.
Oh,
I think that's where, although he's American, but he's a Rastafarian. Mhm.
yeah, I got you. All right, that makes sense. Thank you. Oh, Carol, I spoke to Carol already. Thank you, my dear. All right, so what do we do? Moving along. The prayer requests, as I suggested earlier, will be taken with a consciousness of the whole concept of visioning, right? There's a video that I saw the other day. I should just maybe mention. I shared it with some of you, I think. By it's a thing called "What Does It Mean to Be Egoless?" by Muji, Jamaican mystic. I don't know which country he lives in, but it's quite an interesting watch. So
He lives in India.
he lives in India.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. Okay, any prayer requests?
None on this side, Steve.
None on the side?
I have one
Okay, go ahead.
for right action, treatment for right action for the right perfect new owner of Up Yonder.
Okay, right action.
Yes,
Were you here for the visioning exercise?
I think so.
Okay,
I was making notes.
okay, very good, very good. All right.
And also for health.
And for health.
Yes.
Let me share something with you from this thing called You, one of the protracted affirmations by Holmes. The spirit within me knows the answer to any problem which confronts me. I now turn from the problem to the spirit, accepting the answer. I turn from any thought of confusion to a consciousness of peace. I know that the Spirit of God is within me and the law of God is around me. I know that the answer to sale of property becomes a question. and is right here, right now. It is within my own mind, because God is right where I am. In calm confidence, in perfect trust, in abiding faith, and with complete peace, I let go of the problem, the matter of sale for the property. I no longer see it as a problem, and I receive the answer as fulfillment. So it is in this consciousness that we look at sale of a property, not as an issue for any kind of concern or worry, but a simple question. God, who is the right buyer for this property? And he or she comes into my presence, and the deal is perfect. We allow God to be God. We take no concerns into this activity. Our all is a living Spirit Almighty made manifest. We let the truth of this circumstance be handled by divine law, because that is where our faith is placed. It is good. It is very good. And I give thanks that this is so. And so it is.
And so it is. And I find myself keep declaring all is in divine order.
We discuss divine order another time. Health. Again, I borrow from Mr. Holmes, this thing called you. There's not a page in this book that is not marked. Forget a new book.
Bad Markham too.
Boy, I tell you, it's amazing. Health. There is one power, one presence, and one life. The living Spirit is right where I am, within, around, and through me. I am in spirit. Spirit is in me. Spirit knows me. Spirit sees through me, thinks in my mind, acts through my acts. The wellspring of life flowing up through me, the wellspring of life flowing up through me knows no obstruction, no congestion, no imperfection. There's a pattern of perfection at the center of my being, a divine and heavenly pattern of wholeness. There's a pattern of perfection at the center of my being, a divine and heavenly pattern of wholeness. Every organ, action, and function of my being is spiritual. The Spirit is perfect in every part of my being. I live in peace, in joy, and in perfect life. This is the truth of Dawn. This is the truth of Steve. This is the truth of everyone open to the reality that that perfect blueprint that exists in the mind of God, of who and what we are, also exists in us when we remember whose we are. It is good. It is very good, for this truth is already established in divine law. We simply allow it to be so now. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you very much,
And
Steve.
so it is.
All good, my dear. All good. Take the vision in exercise, serious. Make Sandy help you. That's it for our requests.
Sorry,
Announcements.
nothing else from, nothing at all from this end.
Okay, gotcha.
What about love, please?
What about love? What about it?
And I have a request for light there.
I didn't hear
We need
that.
to end.
I said I have a
All right,
request
Dawn
for
first.
light.
Oh, Dawn said love and Carol is saying light.
Yes,
That's right.
Okay.
I
So-
love to.
Why not? Why not?
Love light.
Love and light, you know. Hey, I tell them about the Jamaican language, you know. We're gonna fight
And
Rasta.
let your love light shine.
Ah, we fight Rasta to our own detriment. But also love and light. Let us do them both together. The consciousness of the only truth, the living spirit almighty, Jah, Yahweh, Allah, Jehovah, the living spirit almighty that brought us into being, that is our very being. What else could that be but light? What else but love? We rest with this thought for a moment. There is not God and, there is no and, there is God. God is love. God is light. We allow this to be the center of our visioning, and we visualize ourselves basking in that love. The fullness of that light not only emanates from us, it radiates out into all the world. And many see and say, who is that woman? Who is that man? Must be the son of God, must be the daughter of God going there. This is the truth of us. So we contemplate love for a moment. We no longer even process imperfect. The fullness of it is, I am perfect. I am the love of God. I am the light of God. And all is well. This truth is already established in divine law. And so we allow ourselves to access this law with gratitude, with thanksgiving, with joy, and say, thank you, God, that this is so. And so it is.
So
Wow,
it
and so
is.
it
And
is.
so it is. Truly is.
We got love, we got light. We'll close out this evening. Those of you who can, we can sing the mission song when we are finished. But yesterday, at our quiet moments in the garden with Reverend John, so funny, synchronicity is something else. The affirmation was, maybe it still is, God and God alone constitutes my individual being. First cause is my first choice. So we will do the announcements, prayer for our center, prayer of Jamaica, and that affirmation will be the epigraph for our closing treatment. But let us go to the announcement. Give me a second. Announcements. Give me a second, please. What do you know? Quiet moments in the garden. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 6 a.m. But it's worth it. It really is. Talk about the perfect start to the day. 6 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday with our beloved Reverend John. Anyone can help me with the classes. I know of the Thursday class, of course. Reverend Michael is Wednesday, and Reverend Ann is Thursday face-to-face at 11. Am I correct?
Yes,
So, Reverend
11 to
Michael.
1 o'clock, the power in gratitude.
Say that again.
The power in gratitude.
The power in gratitude. That is Reverend Michael.
No, Reverend Michael is spiritual laws on a Wednesday night at 7.
Okay, please do all the classes. I don't know why Steve don't shut up. Go ahead.
On Wednesday evenings at 7 to 9, that's spiritual laws with Reverend John, Reverend Michael, assisted by Jennifer Livingston, practitioner. Thursday morning at 11 to 1 o'clock, that's the power in gratitude, Reverend Ann with Carol Charlton. And Thursday night, no, you have spiritual principles and practices with Reverend Sonia and our beloved Steve.
And Vance and Sheena. Hey.
Vance and Sheena, yes.
Don't
I apologize.
Don't diss the team, you know. All right. So, and of course, this is a link for those who want to join these classes late, though you be. Prayer Power every Thursday at 6 p.m. This Thursday, right? So we're still at 6 p.m. this Thursday, but bear in mind that when there is Lifeline, that Sandy is going to tell us about now, Prayer Power is at 5 p.m. But this week we are still at 6 p.m. Next week we will be at 5 p.m. Sandy?
Yes, yes, thank you, Steve. So next week, our very special guest is going to be Reverend Dr. Phyllis Green. And we're going to talk about the strength of a woman. Now, even although it says strength of a woman, we really, really are focusing on the divine feminine and, how it manifests. And certainly this month being International Women's Month, Day, etc., where there's the honoring of our women, we still also recognize that the power of the divine feminine permeates every human being. And so we do invite you to come and join us next week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Right here on YouTube and so on, with our special guest, Reverend Dr. Phyllis Green, for the strength of a woman.
Thank you, Sandy. You said YouTube, we're not on Facebook anymore?
We can clarify and correct if you need to.
No, not me. I'm asking because I'm not sure.
Oh, well, perhaps I'm feeling that since we have this on YouTube, that we also are going to do that on, Vance, can you clarify for me, please?
Lifeline has been on Facebook. I don't think we'll move it over to YouTube as yet.
Okay, we can have the technical. We can have the technical discussion later. Maybe we should do
right.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate it.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Sandy.
Come on, you're welcome.
All right. So Prayer Power 6 p.m. this Thursday, 5 p.m. next Thursday. And of course, I don't even have to say this. It is a given. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our love stream, for those of us who are online, people in Jamrock get to go in personally and bask in that wonderful, lovely, oh boy, won't bother going any further on that. Sunday, 9 a.m. And of course, next week, Tuesday, who is speaking next Tuesday? Nobody have the roster close by? It will be announced. And so, if you feel
next
moved,
Tuesday is Carol Campbell.
Carol Campbell next Tuesday. Okay, good. So Spiritual Mind Healing Service next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Carol Campbell.
And I will be on Sunday.
Okay, good. If you feel moved to support our ministry, please feel free to donate at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. We thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light for the world. Let us just repeat the love offering blessing. Can open your mics. Let's hear all the voices. Together.
Lovingly
Lovingly I give, joyfully
Joyfully
I receive. Be thou
Thou
fruitful,
fruitful,
increase,
increase,
and
and
multiply.
multiply.
Bless,
Bless,
Prosper, and
prosper,
enrich
and
and
enrich
enrich
everyone
everyone
whom
whom
you
you touch,
and replenish
I
all
and
replenish all
replenish
of
all
my
my
financial
financial affairs. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Father.
Thank you, Father.
And so it is.
It is. Prayer for a center.
Mhm.
Temple of Light,
The light
Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual
spiritual
Living.
living is a
Is a
sacred
sacred
field
field embodying
our
spiritual
our
community
spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love,
and
and
joy
joy
emanate.
emanate.
To
to
touch,
touch, to
to
heal,
heal, to
to
bless,
prosper,
to prosper, and to
prosper, and
liberate
liberate
anyone who
anyone
comes into
comes into
contact
contact
with
with
it
it
in any way.
anyway. The
The
light
light
of
of the
Christ
Christ illumines us,
illuminates us, our
our
center,
center, and
and
our
our
environment.
environment.
Our spiritual
Spiritual
community
community is
is
filled
filled
with
with and surrounded by the
by the
presence
presence
of
of
God
God
and is
and
growing
is growing
from
from
strength
strength
to
to
strength.
strength.
The power of
Power
God
of God expands our
expands our
consciousness of
consciousness,
truth,
guiding us
guiding us
ceaselessly
ceaselessly along the
on the
path
path
of
of wisdom,
spiritual
spiritual
growth,
growth, unfoldment, and
unfoldment, and
attainment.
attainment.
We are
We are
blessed,
blessed,
and to
and to
God
God
be
be the
honor
honor
and
and
glory
glory
forever.
forever.
And
And
so it
so it
is.
is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Pray for a beautiful country, Jamaica. The radiant light
Light of God's love
is now
is now
flowing
flowing
through
through
us
us
and from
from
us to everything and
everything and
everyone
everyone
it
touches.
touches.
The eternal light of
of
God's love now
now
completely
completely
fills,
fills, covers, and
around our
surrounds
island, Jamaica.
Jamaica.
The glowing
Glowing intensity of the
intensity
light
of
of
the
God's
light of
love
God's love
now
now
interpenetrates and
interpenetrates
awakens within the
and
hearts
awakens
and
within
minds
the
of
hearts
our
and minds of our
countrymen and
countrymen
women.
and women.
Truths of
The
life,
truths of
which
life
set
which set free.
the light of
Light of
God's
God's
love
love is
is
growing
and
and
glowing
glowing in
intensity
intensity
in the hearts
in
and
the
minds
hearts and
of
minds of
mankind
mankind
everywhere.
everywhere.
Love,
Love,
health,
health,
harmony,
harmony,
goodwill,
goodwill,
peace,
uprightness,
uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness,
and our
oneness
under
under God
God are now
are
established. And so it is.
So
It
it is.
And so as I make our way out of here, right? I just want us to be mindful of the practice. I remind you of Reverend John's affirmation and a quote from Ernest Holmes to end our service this evening. God and God alone constitutes my individual being. First cause is my first choice. From Mr. Holmes, we pray. I know there is an inner presence in everything. I know that this presence responds to me. I know that everyone is an incarnation of God, that the living spirit breathes through all. I recognize this spirit and it responds to me. I realize that everything is alive, awake, and aware with spirit. I commune with this divine presence. The spirit within me reaches out and communes with this spirit in everything and everyone I contact. It is the same spirit in all, over all, and through all. And so it is.
And so it beautifully is. Thank you, Steve. Wonderful.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
everyone.
Wonderful session. Wonderful session, Steve.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Practice. Namaste.
Thank you.
Live